Hello, this is Swipe on this week's show. Changing the way you watch TV. It's a retro revolution. And the force is strong in our games review. Welcome to Swipe. Television has changed a lot over the past few years. The list of ways to watch our favourite programmes just keeps on growing. Whether it's on mobile, on demand, via streaming, on games consoles or on our tablets. What's it going to look like in a few more years? Well, this week, Sky, which of course owns Sky News, has launched a brand new product which promises to revolutionise the way we watch TV again. So we've come along for an exclusive hands-on. You are looking at Sky Q, and with me is the man behind it, Andrew Olson. This is a pretty big week for you, isn't it?
It is.
So tell us, what is it and how does it work and why should we be so excited about it?
So Sky Q is really the next generation of TV. It's a whole family of products, and it reimagines how we watch our favorite TV across all the different screens in our lives. It's something we call fluid viewing. And with fluid viewing, your favorite TV really can follow you from screen to screen, from room to room, and with our new feature called Q-Sync, even from place to place by saving your favorite recordings to your tablet.
Okay, is this the layout here?
So this is the new home screen for Sky Q, and one of the great features is what we call My Q. It's a special new place at the heart of the home screen. And what it brings together is that movie that you might have paused to put the kids to bed, and with one click, it just resumes exactly where you were.
But you can already do that, can't you, in the same room though? Why would you need to do it in another room?
So what Sky Q allows you to do is to resume that same program in any other room on your TV or even on your tablet.
But why would someone want to get this? Why is it so much better than what's already out there on the market?
What we've found talking to customers is that they live their lives across all these different screens now. And so their favorite things, their most personal moments on TV are their recordings. So to be able to unlock that and set it free from that living room main TV and carry it across all the screens from room to room and even to take it on the tube, on the airplane.
There are already services that do that though, aren't there?
Nothing else has ever done this with your live TV here in the UK. Your live TV recordings, the most personal moments of TV, to bring them away with you.
Okay,
and
what
take
other
them from screen to
special
screen.
features, standout features have we got?
We've brought all sorts of new great content to the Sky Q experience with new partners like GQ and GoPro, Red Bull. But what we've also done is something great for music. We know that over a third of our customers tell us that the living room TV is the best sound system in their home. And they watch lots of music video and also listen to radio. And now what we've allowed them to do is to take their own music collection or Apple Music, Spotify, all their favorite music and stream it to their box and play it out through that living room TV.
All right, Andrew, thanks for talking to us. Now I'm going to bring you over here so we can have a chat to journalist Stuart Miles from Pocket. He's been listening carefully to that. Stuart, is this the way TV and viewing is headed now? Do we all just want super control over everything?
I think what you're seeing across the industry is this sense of having everything on demand, when you want it, where you want it, regardless of the device you're looking at.
So in a couple of years' time, will everyone have this kind of service in their homes?
Yeah, if you look at the way the Sky's evolved, so you had Sky Plus and everybody could pause television. That was the most exciting thing at the time. It allowed you to get up and make a cup of tea or go for a wee or something in between your favourite moments. Now it's a case of, well, I can actually just stop the button and transfer it to a completely different room. And I think it's an evolution of what you currently have now through a number of different services, and Sky trying to grab all of that and make it something of their own, but then hopefully in the future add more things to the experience like 4K watching.
You're watching Swipe, still to come. We look at the rise of retro gaming. But first, here's a roundup of some of this week's other tech news. These bots were made for rocking. At least that's what their crowdfunding campaign says. The creators of this band of robots want to make an album with music sounding so professional no one will be able to tell they're not human. But Compressor Head, as they're called, still need a vocalist, so they're hoping their Kickstarter campaign will help raise money to build him or her. If, however, you prefer making the most of a bit of peace and quiet, here's a new sleep gadget that's launched on Indiegogo. Juvo slides under your mattress and tracks your sleep, breathing and heartbeat. It can also make sounds to help you fall asleep and has a smart alarm. A video dictionary has also begun crowdfunding, and this Kickstarter project involves a tour of Europe in a double-decker bus. The language learning company behind it, Memrise, plans to go on an epic road trip with a team of filmmakers, linguists and coders, recording thousands of mini videos that show people speaking their native languages. The clips will be added to an app to help others learn new languages. In a moment, we take a trip to the circus in our weekly games review. TV isn't the only industry that's evolved massively in the past few years. Video games have too. But despite the huge amounts of money pumped into blockbuster titles like Call of Duty and GTA, some classic games are still proving pretty popular. Here's Chris.
Gaming is seeing something of a retro resurgence. New 2D titles like Super Mario Maker are having huge commercial success, while old consoles are being reborn through crowdfunding campaigns. Some gamers are building up vast collections of classics. The owner of this one says he does it for the nostalgia.
I have a massive games collection of over 4,000 games and 100 box consoles from across about 20 different systems. One of the main reasons why I collect retro video games over new games is because they're much harder. You know, next generation games these days, you run down the corridor, checkpoint. You walk around the corner, checkpoint. You know, back at the old retro games, you had 3 lives. You know, 3 mistakes in literally 5 seconds. It could be game over, start again.
Rich isn't alone in his love for old consoles, cartridges and controllers. Events where people come to buy and sell old games are becoming more popular. But as the demand increases, so does the value.
Retro games are definitely getting more expensive, and when I've noticed the rise is quite exponential, really. I bought a game about 8 or 9 years ago for £25 that's now going for over £1,000 on auction sites. There are collectors who are driving up the price of certain things by almost hoarding them, you know, and it kind of makes it harder now for someone getting into retro gaming to start a collection for many systems.
Mission 1.
Many classic games are available digitally on next-gen consoles. Others have been re-released for phone or tablet, and indie developers are also well aware of this passion for the 16-bit era.
I think the main inspiration for us and our game is very much in retro games. I mean, 2 key games were Pac-Man and Bomberman. Retro games and indie games, they're a lot easier to get into. I mean, they don't have necessarily the huge, great storylines, but they also don't have like huge, complicated control mechanisms. So they're really easy to just jump right into, and they don't require 40 hours of play to really enjoy.
Most gamers will still choose the big multi-million-pound franchises over a return to the classics. But at least there's plenty of options if you want to take a trip down memory lane. Chris Creegan, Sky News.
From old games to new ones now, here's Gav with his review of a few of the latest releases.
Star Wars Battlefront has just come out, and there's a bit of a stink because there's no single-player campaign, it's all multiplayer, so you basically have to have friends or an internet connection to be able to play it, which kind of puts a lot of people off, and it did initially put me off, but actually being able to play it in these like crazy, massive actual Star Wars with like loads of different people, it's a really, really exciting thing.
Circus Panarium.
I first played this game a few years back, and it's just really, really fun. So it's a kind of like platformy, jumping around, shooty type game, but you basically play this chubby kid who's bought a ticket to the circus, but unfortunately he bought the wrong ticket, so he finds himself in the circus. So there's all these different sort of enemies and things coming at you, and the style is kind of like really like old school, kind of pixel art, but at the same time feels like, you know, those old type of circus posters and things used to get. So there's a lot of stuff like that, especially the enemies take a lot of their cues from that as well. It's a mobile game that takes place over the course of days, and it takes place kind of in real time, so you're basically in charge of submarines and things like diggers, and you have to like put mines down, and you have all these like special characters, but you're playing with your friends and you're making real life alliances. So there's a lot of, you know, stuff that goes on outside of the game, because the aim is to sort of take control of the sea, and you do that by getting in alliances and taking out other players. But at any point you sort of have this niggling feeling that maybe your best friend is going to turn on you, because it really makes you start to doubt everything.
Well, that's it for this week. Join us next time for more Swipe. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.